Hi, and welcome to another episode of One Game Dad. I'm the proverbial One Game Dad, Gregory Polici. And it shouldn't come as a surprise, but I'm back in Destiny 2. And, well, that's for good and bad. I mean, it's Destiny 2. It still feels really good and responsive. The combat is always fun. But, you know, I have my issues with the story. And it's something that I've actually been thinking of doing a video about.
There's a chart here. It's a plan of attack on the Bray facility.
Yeah, I've been thinking about analyzing just well, both games in fact, and how the various add-ons have been paid off. I mean, it's whatever you want to whatever term you want to use. Just breaking down what works and what doesn't. I mean, and this is for the writing game, my other podcast, not for this show. You know, this is a personal vlog. And I just, well,
The Red Legion has stolen energy from the facility.
Don't let them go off-world with those batteries. Destroy them at once.
I just thought that maybe I should do something a little different and look at a particular game, a popular game, to showcase what works and what doesn't in terms of the storytelling, because there have been highs and lows. It's a lot to do, but it's also not the type of thing I want to normally do. You know, but I recognize that there is value in, well, you providing some very specific examples of
That puts an end to that. But nothing's stopping the Red Legion from coming
what
back.
works and what doesn't.
If we can get Cabal communication codes, I can send a signal to the Red Legion.
Then you ambush them and put an end to their operation. I like where your head's at.
But yeah, I don't know what interest there is in such a thing. It's yeah. I mean, it's time consuming. It's also one I feel like needs a lot of footage. From the game, and that's not something I really do. I mean, it's not something I'm equipped for. So it's, yeah, it's not that it's difficult, it's just I mean, I know there's value in it. but is there enough for the amount of time it takes to justify it?
There's a gulch near you that will be the perfect ambush spot. I've made arrangements for a special surprise.
So, yeah, it's just something I'm considering. In the meantime, I've been working on or looking at the budget for my company, and it's alright. I clearly need to find more clients, as well as trying to get like the comic book side project up and running, so that is a well, just a viable source of income. I mean, that's going to be an expense, and I need to add that to the proposed budget.
Explosives that we can put to good use. He sends his regards.
Why does Devrim have leftover explosives?
But, yeah, I mean, budgeting is relatively simple. Projecting
Let's
what
get to high ground before our guests arrive.
things are ultimately going to cost is not easy. So then it's also, do I buy a new computer for my company? I'm very much thinking of it. So it's yeah, I mean, there are expenses before I even pay myself. Yeah. But here in Helsinki, the sun is shining. It's nearly 24 degrees Celsius, and that is hot for Finland. But, yeah, it's bright and shiny. I mean, not that you can tell, because here I am sitting inside rather than outside, and that's the other thing. I have to find time to go outside. Yeah, it's well, it's not just go outside. I have to find time for everything, as I always do, you know. The constant issues of, well, my situation.
I think we've upset whoever's in charge.
So, yeah, these are some of my concerns at the moment. And, well, as a result of the sun being out and the perpetual, well, the fast-growing trees, my allergies are acting up, so I am particularly stuffed up. It's a good thing I'm not recording an episode of the writing game this week, because
But we can make sure the Red Legion never has the opportunity to hurt us again.
yeah, Yeah, it's because... Well... I... never sound that good when I'm this stuffed up. It can actually be quite hard to talk. So... Yay for me. What else? Alright. Mine lab. Let's find the mine lab. Yeah. Sorry. Kid is healthy and enjoying the sun. It also means she's getting smothered or smeared with sunscreen because the sun is out and it is strong for, well, for Finland, for one with such pale for one with such pale skin, so. What else is going on? Well, the wife is back from her trip to Zambia. Her next trip has been moved back a little bit just because there isn't a lot of time. And where am I going? I'm not going there. Ah, yes, I fell down again, didn't I? Sorry. There we go. Being trapped in the dark in a video game, and that's terribly exciting. And yeah, you know, I've talked about this before, but I'm constantly at odds with how much I should talk about things I'm trying to do, plans, because I always feel like anytime I mention something, it never comes to fruition. So like, I've mentioned this comic book, and who knows if that's going to happen. It's it's and I hate that. I hate feeling like I'm all talk and no action, like nothing actually comes to fruition. And this is what we're looking for. All right. But it's And I don't know how to get around that issue because it's... I don't know how much of it is me. I don't know how much of it is just the world being weird and or me seeing patterns where there are none. You know, it could just be paranoia. It could be nothing at all. I would like to think it's not paranoia. I'd like to think it's... well, that... what I'm doing actually... well, then I'm actually working towards something in that. There's something more to... well, I don't know what it is, because it's not like I'm actively... I mean, I keep trying to do things, but I mean, it also makes me increasingly feel like I need to rely less on others, and this is why I find myself wanting to do projects without, because I feel like if it's that way, there is no letdown, because every additional person on a project is just another failure point, another weak point, because you don't know what's going... you don't know what's going to come along, what's going to...
The Cabal sure are persistent. I'll give them that.
Don't worry. We'll deal with them as many times as it takes.
That thing's not going anywhere without a ventilation system.
yeah, so it's... hey, I mean, I'm not an artist, so I need an artist for the comic books. But I mean, even then, like, they're failure points, but it's something I want to do. And and I also, hell, I struggle to find people to play with games. And, you know, that's a sad thing. Fuck you.
Another day, another
I'd love to play games more with
Nice.
others.
I'll head over and study what's left of it.
But,
Maybe we can reverse engineer some of their technology.
Yeah, about that.
You broke everything, didn't you?
That's not always going to be possible. I mean, especially given my schedule or lack of a schedule. So it's, yeah. These are all the things on my mind as I played Destiny 2, and it's the time and people is definitely a concern because I'm definitely missing out on content because I'm not getting to, well, yeah, to touch all sections of the game. Because you need other people for that. And I don't fault them for that design. It's just, I don't have the time for that. I wish I did. I wish I could schedule my gaming more regularly. This podcast, getting to produce it as I do on like a Monday morning when everyone's out of the house, is the easiest way to guarantee half an hour where no one can object to me doing this. Punched that guy in the crotch. Ah, there we go. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, games are definitely more fun with other people. There are times I don't want to play them with other people and times where I do. And wow. My shots were all over the place there. Yeah. I'm actually amazed how much I've managed to talk this episode. Of course, I'm just playing Destiny 2, and so it's not that complicated. I'm not having to pay attention to the story.
Weird Warmind pillar. Swarm of angry hive. Looks like fun. Let's mix it up.
Well, this is one way to... kill lots and lots of enemies. And get killed by lots and lots of enemies, because I'm underpowered. But hey, someone else spawned it, so I'm happy to help out. Where is it? Where's the Shadow Rift? I know none of you care. Ah, there we go. Wow, I just got shut down. So... that's me. Down, down, down. Oh, someone's reviving me. Yay. Oh. And dead once more. Well, with that, I think I'll call it a day. Thank you for watching and listening. This has been One Game Dad, and I am that proverbial One Game Dad, Gregory Palaci. Everything I do, you can find at onegamedad.com or on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at One Game Dad. And this podcast, my company, is this podcast is hosted by my company, Third Culture Kids. You can find at thirdculturekids.net. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next episode.